Welcome back to the show, everyone. Always a pleasure to have our next guest on because he's not in Vancouver very often anymore, and he is the head of the Bliss Army.
That is right. Blissologist extraordinaire and yoga instructor Eoin Finn is joining us. How are you, Eoin?
Blissful.
Blissful.
I
Now,
hope
you
so.
are here to talk about your new DVD, The Pursuit of Happy Hips. Now, why the hips? Why is that so important for athletes and for everyone else?
Yeah, it's interesting because the original reason why we made this DVD is because we've been working with a lot of World Cup and Olympic athletes for a number of years. And they're like, yeah, I really need something we can take with us on the road. And so, you know, the common thread between all people who are at high-level winter sports in the Olympics or otherwise is that they use their legs, whether you're pushing a bobsled or cross-country skiing or downhill skiing, you know, your hips end up being really tight. And it just happens that that is the most popular part of anyone's body to really open up. I mean, in yoga classes, when I'm like, what do you guys want to work on today? And everyone's like, hips, hips, hips.
Really?
Yeah, it's like giving out candy to kids. They're like, oh yeah, I want to do this. So it's amazing,
Great.
yeah.
So if you want to reward them, you do some hip stuff.
Yeah.
You don't.
Originally for athletes, but this kind of workout really is good for everyone.
Everyone. I mean, whether you know, because basically overactivity really makes your hips tight, you know, and so is underactivity. I mean, our ancestors never thought we'd sit for 60 hours a week or something crazy like
At
that.
a weird
Crazy when you
angle.
think about it.
And then drive to and from work. I mean, God, it's just, it's a brutal thing.
Well, and you mentioned, and I think this is, I mean, people who are at that elite level have always had this awareness that flexibility, fluidity, all these things in the body can help you, you know, when you're pursuing activity, obviously, but just in your life, like your everyday, whatever it is.
Oh, it helps you with everything. And the great thing about this, I mean, with the athletes is, you know, one of the things they say they benefit from the most is just this clear state of mind because, you know, high-level athletics, Olympics or otherwise, it's like life condensed. It's, you know, all your dreams from 10 years in a 10-second or 20-second span, you know. So talk about, you know, we'll never face pressure like that in our life kind of thing. So to be able to be clear thinking and find the tools in your body and mind to be relaxed is...
Can you zen us out? Can you give us some of that sweet cherry nectar there, buddy?
Sweet yoga
First of all,
cherry
can I say,
nectar.
because we're looking at this, where are you shooting this? This is gorgeous.
This is actually at the Big Sky Golf Course in Pemberton, actually. Yeah,
I want to be there.
And just, you know, an hour before we filmed it, it was completely cloudy, but,
And
you know,
then
we're lucky.
the clouds
We're lucky
parted.
people, yes.
Now, are these athletes, of course, we recognize Insia here because she happens to be here,
Yeah,
but
these
are
are
these athletes
Allison
with you as well?
Forsyth.
Yeah, I knew the
I can
stars
go
would
through
change quickly.
Kamiko Zakreski, Andrea Holmes, Tracy Delphs, Shannon Bark.
Yeah.
They look pretty stretchy people.
Yeah, and yeah, it's super exciting to have Andrea Holmes, and she's actually a Paralympian. She has a prosthetic leg, and she could do this as well. And I mean, she's amazing at yoga to watch as well. So.
All right, beautiful, man. Make me feel better.
Okay, so we've already seen Mike demonstrate the great yoga pose called the upward wolf. So
Don't do that again.
We'll complement this with the downward dog to start with.
Okay.
The basic yoga pose. So come onto all fours. Fingertips and paws on the floor, spread out through the toes.
The paws.
Yes, you can do this at home too, because sitting is not so good for you to do it too much. And then we're going to go into that inverted V position and just press up and back. Yeah, and send your hips back a little further. Keep breathing. Is that feeling good, Mike?
Yeah, it feels good.
Okay.
It does feel really good. I mean, that's the thing. I don't make it look like it feels really good, but it feels really good.
And now what?
Okay, and then take your right
Ian's like,
foot.
"Hey, buddy."
Take your right foot, step it forward.
I gotta be careful. I'm wearing a skirt, Ian.
Yeah, I know. And Mike was saying he loves being able to take his shoes off, and so does Fiona, I know. So that's
I like
a great
taking
benefit.
all clothes off. What am I doing? Oh,
It's funny you say that. Okay, take your right foot over towards the left for this one, pigeon pose. I actually used to live in Hawaii, and I didn't have a laundry machine in my house.
Don't tell me you did pigeon pose.
No, so I didn't want to make a lot of sweaty clothing, so I used to do my yoga naked. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, that's
Dude,
what's great about...
I am so inhibited by my pants right now. I can't even explain. These things don't flex the way I
Yeah,
need
you're not
them to.
inflexible. It's just tight pants, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Now we're in
that's your
pigeon
excuse.
pose. What
We're
are
in
we
pigeon
stretching
pose.
But on the
here?
good side, I've got a lot of butt support, right?
You're actually, it's the other butt you're stretching. The right hip is what you're stretching in this one. And you'll get it more if you start to lean slightly forward and press through your heel. Yes, great to do in a skirt, this one.
I know, I'm being really careful.
And this is the great thing about your DVDs, because I've got a couple of them, but sometimes you forget about certain things, right? But you hear the
we'd like to have long conversations in the middle of yoga poses.
But those little things when you're doing a pose, right? And
Yeah.
and you just have that one little clue to just get the proper positioning or get the proper stretch or whatever it is. It makes a vast difference than just trying to figure it out by yourself.
Little microscopic adjustments, which I didn't give you.
Now, when
makes,
you are
big
doing
differences.
a pose or you're
Want
following...
to switch legs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
you're,
like,
when
sorry,
you're
take your
doing
left
a
foot forward.
pose and you're working yourselves into, say, pigeon pose like we are right now, how do you know your limits of when to stop stretching?
Well, you know, we call it the hedonic point. Okay, so
I
there's
didn't know there was
pleasure,
term.
there's pleasure, and there's intensity.
Okay.
You got to be just on the side of pleasure, but bordering on intensity.
Boy, that's kind of a life lesson right there, isn't it?
That's why he's the Blissology.
I was going to say that really applies to a lot of different things.
Yes, it does. And then, so if basically the breath is the barometer, right? If you can't breathe long and smooth, then you've gone too far. So you got to back up a little bit.
Everything he says is like a little
I know,
nugget.
it's like a little life lesson.
It is.
It is. How's the hip feeling there, Mike?
It feels very nice.
Yeah, so you get more freedom.
What about you, Fiona? How's your skirt?
My skirt's fine.
Here, wait, let me check on it. Let me make sure. Do that pose again, and I'll make
Not
sure.
yoga clothes. And
Yeah.
Eoin, you've been doing yoga for how long now?
I started in university, which was, I hate to say it, but 1987.
Yeah.
Yeah, more dabbling, and then I've been doing it more on a daily basis
And
since
what
about
was your reasoning
1994.
for starting? Because there's still people that are hesitant to sort of give it a try, but what was your purpose for starting?
One of it is I'm actually an extreme sport athlete myself. I mean, to this day, I still surf for 2 to 3 hours every day whenever I'm not in the city. And I, you know, a lot of my friends were 10 years older than me, and they would have to lie on their back, and they're wrestling to put their socks on, and I'm going, there has to be a better way.
Yeah.
Right? There really has to be a better way. And, you know, that's just the physical benefits. I mean, I'm really interested in aging well. Like, I mean, Incy and I want to have matching bowling suits when we're 90. And we just want to be
awesome.
killing it in our Winnebagos and, you know, everyone else.
best
And it's
thing
all going to
is
be because of yoga.
Stealing
Yeah.
everyone's money.
Ian's
at the lawn
actually
bowling.
89, so you can see what yoga does for you.
Exactly.
You can go to blissology.com to find all information, and you want to get this new DVD. It has 4 hours of yoga, is that right?
Yep, 4 different routines.
4
Nice.
different routines that you can do in your own home, naked or not.
Boy, these pants are really chafing.
They're really tight.
Really chafing.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more Urban Rush right after this.
It's
Stay
called
tuned.
a cigarette leg. Thank you.